Welcome to Kids Academy.
Hi, this is Rob from Kids Academy, and today we'll be talking about a special move called pawn promotion. You might be asking yourself, what does the word promotion mean? Well, if you work hard all year, it's a reward you get for a job well done. For example, in school, if you work hard and you do the right things and you turn in your work and get good grades, over the summer you get promoted to the next grade. And the same thing in chess. You get a reward for a job well done. And in this case, the pawn promotion, the pawn gets a reward if he's able to march all across the board through enemy territory and get to the other side of the board, get to the last rank. And what happens, this is only true for a pawn. If a pawn is able to march all the way across and get to the last rank, he has a choice. He can turn into a stronger piece, either a knight, a bishop, a rook, or a queen. The pawn can never remain a pawn, and the pawn cannot turn into a king because we can only have one leader, one commander of the army. So let's take a look at this game. It's white to move. White plays pawn to a7. The black king tries to chase and capture the pawn, but he's too slow and too far. a8 equals, and you see the computer gives me a choice. I could turn into a bishop, a rook, a knight, or a queen. Now here's a tip. Almost always we want to turn into a queen. Very rarely do we promote to a bishop, a rook, or a knight because the queen is the strongest piece. The queen is the best soldier. In the instances that you do choose to promote to a weaker piece, either the bishop, the rook, or the knight, that also has a name. It's called under promotion. But like I said, we almost always turn into a queen because the queen is the strongest piece. So in this game, white just promoted the pawn and turned into a queen. Some chess players think that if you already have a queen, you can't promote the pawn to a second queen. Some people think you can only promote a pawn to a piece that's been captured. It's simply not true. When you promote a pawn, you can turn into any piece you like, a knight, a bishop, a rook, or a queen, even if you already have those pieces on the board. So if you have a queen, you can turn into a second queen. And that's why most chess sets come with an additional queen. They come with two queens because in case of pawn promotion, you can turn that pawn into a second queen. Had this been a game over the board, a board in front of us, we would have taken that pawn on a8, placed it on the side, and put that queen right in that square. The queen would not go on her starting square. She goes right to the same square where the pawn was. In this case, a8. So let's take a look at this. Let's go back. The way you record this move is a7 -a8. So remember, we don't use p for pawn, we just use square names. So a7 -a8. And then when you promote, you use the equal sign. In this case, we promote to a queen, so it would be a7 -a8 equals uppercase Q, capital Q for the queen. Had we promoted to a rook, it would be a7 -a8 equals R. So now I'm going to set up a position, and I want you to think about which pawns are ready to promote. Remember, the white pawns start on ranks 2, and the black pawns start on rank 7. So in this position, which pawns are ready to promote? It looks like this board has been flipped. But if white were to start on 2 and white was marching up the board, this pawn on f7 would be ready to promote. f7 -f8 equals Q for queen. And this black pawn on d2 is getting ready to promote to d1. d2 -d1 equals queen. This pawn is still on its starting square. He hasn't even begun his journey yet. He still has a long way to go. Same thing with this pawn on b7. He hasn't even moved. He has a long way to go to get to the other side. So, pawn promotion. If we get a pawn all the way across the board to the other side, that pawn can turn into another piece. We almost always turn into a queen because she's the strongest piece. And we can turn into a queen or a rook even if we already have those pieces still as part of our army. We can have more than 2 rooks, we can have more than 1 queen, more than 2 knights, and more than 2 bishops. I'm going to end with this brain teaser, with this little riddle for you. What is the most number of queens one team can have, one side can have, in a game of chess? It's more than 2. It's more than 4. The answer, believe it or not, is 9. And we can get 9 queens. I've never seen it happen, but it is possible if white is able to promote all of the pawns, all 8 of them. If they all reach the other side of the board, that is 8 queens, plus the queen we start with. 8 plus 1 is 9. Again, I've never seen it happen, but it is possible to have 9 queens in a chess game thanks to this rule called pawn promotion. It's not easy to get a pawn across, but if you're able to, usually towards the end of the game, once a lot of the pieces have been traded off, you can promote to a stronger piece. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Subscribe to our channel to stay updated on new videos. Find links to our apps in the comments below.